So yes, Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think with Lewis Hamilton, you look at a guy who's been very successful in his career so far.
Yeah.
He's won 6 championships. 8 individual honours on top of that as well, including the BBC Sports Personality of the Year award.
Yeah.
But I think when you talk about Lewis Hamilton, there's always a sense of lack of appreciation. There's always a sense of
100%.
not enough recognition for what he's achieved in sport, and considered by many as to be probably one of the best ever F1 drivers. But why is he not? I don't know. Why do people not appreciate what he's done in the sport so much?
Can I get the real answer?
Go
Because
for
he's
it.
black.
I was gonna say
It's because he's black, and you know what? Yeah, I'm sick of it, man. Honestly, it's because he's black, bruv. That's it. He's a mixed ethnicity. If you want to be bloody political,
Yeah.
But the truth be told, is he represents black people, and power to him, bro. Let me be honest with you, yeah. If this was a Damon Hill, I think it was Damon Hill that won it, and he's the reason I even got interested in F1, because I was like, oh yeah, he's England, support England. I didn't even know what the hell was going on the track, and he used to drive for Williams, so that's the reason I was even involved when it used to come on Channel 3. And Lewis Hamilton's done amazing. Why is he not Sir? Why is he not a Sir yet?
he should be Sir Lewis.
And now that he's spoken out, he ain't never going to be Sir. He might get an MBE or OB or whatever the hell that means, but he's never going to be Sir. He should have been knighted time ago. And you know what? In fact, yeah, he should actually reject the knighthood if they give it to him.
You think so?
100%.
Like maybe because it's a bit of a disrespect in the sense that he should be a Sir and not an OBE or MBE.
It's not. Do you know what? And again, I don't even know the 100% facts, and I wish I knew it for today's show. But I know that it's deep rooted in. How can I pronounce? I mean, I remember when people have been having MBEs and OBs, they've been telling like black celebrities or sports athletes, elite athletes, to reject it because of the origin of that. And when I find it, I'll bring it on next week's show.
Yeah.
And it's deep rooted. I believe it might be in slavery or something anti-black or anti-color, but there's a reason why they were rejecting it, and that's my bad. I'll do my reading on it. But the bait and truth is that it's because Lewis Hamilton is black. That's why he don't get the credit he deserves. And fans and them silly racist idiots that make comments on posts are the ones that will come up with stupid reasons. Apart from using the word black, you're basically using every other reason to just say you don't like this person, but it's deep rooted in your racism and your prejudice.
What are some of the reasons?
They'll say, oh, his celebrity lifestyle, he goes to New York. He goes to New York and comes back and wins first place. He goes to the fashion show, he comes back first place. He goes and buys the baddest chick in the group. He gets the lead singer, comes back and wins first place. What else do you need?
I know you mentioned how he's black, but like I mentioned before, he's got other honours as well. He's been the BBC Sports Personality of the Year. And you don't just get that; you have to be chosen to get that. So do you feel as if
I didn't say that? No, but that's not from the wider public. The personality is not from the wider public, is it?
It's not.
It's not.
That's a committee.
internal sort of thing.
It's a committee. Let me tell you, Lewis Hamilton, some of the records, there was about 20. I just lifted 5 for the sake of time. Most successful British driver of all time, blatantly. Some of the 20 records, the youngest to lead an F1 championship in 2007, which was his debut year. I think he didn't actually win the championship that year. He's got the most career points. He's got the most pole positions, 81, to Schumacher's at 68. He's won the most different Grand Prix. He's been on the most front row, most of the front row, 130 times. Those are just 5. There were so many. I was like, man, I'm just going to write some of these down.
So we're talking about an F1 legend.
Legend.
Yeah.
And they treat him like he's just some ordinary guy. But he's a black guy. And that's what people need to know. Simple as that. People don't like talking about it because there's silent microaggressions we suffer in this country, bruv. The fact of the matter is, they get onto Lewis Hamilton for any little thing he does and try to diminish his successes.
You know what? I did see that because he had that Breonna Taylor post. They tried to penalise him on that.
Oh,
It's a
God.
bit crazy because he's obviously spoken out against his own team and also F1 as a whole, and why they've not really stood up to racial
I did
justice.
see another post where I think Ferrari posted that I think they were celebrating some sort of milestone, and they had a picture of everybody in Ferrari, and then Hamilton in the comment section mentioned, but yet no diversity in this picture. And I was like, whew.
Listen, we have to keep banging the door because otherwise they won't give us that opportunity.
Well, let me ask you this then. Like, should we keep banging on doors to be in places where clearly we're not welcome? Like, should we then maybe just be like, well, instead of trying to fit in so much, I'm okay just standing out and just like, it is what it is. Like, they don't like us, they don't want us, whatever. Like,
so then what's the answer to that? Let's create our own, but how do we create our own?
We still need them. That's the crazy thing about
That's
it.
you know, thank you.
But look at his
They've
career.
got it so tied up at the top, Rich.
But you look at his career. He's earned every right. I know you mentioned the stats about him being the youngest driver, but he's earned his way in F1 though. It's not like he's been given anything. He's had to earn it. Look at the accomplishments.
But let me
These
throw
are
a curve.
ridiculous
I just want to throw a curveball in there. Do you think that? Okay, I'm not discrediting his work rate, right? To do what he does, you have to have worked incredibly hard. I'm just saying that is it because he's not even, like you mentioned, he's not even full black, right?
No.
He's of dual heritage, right? And with that, do you think it's like, okay, look, we've got this dual heritage kid here, and this could be a very good opportunity to market somebody who is not white and give this person an opportunity to be what they can be, so that we can say that we've got this kid over here who is from an urban background and blah, 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 blah. And because of that, he has become what he's become. Like, in a way, what he is has kind of worked for him in a sense. Being the only black guy has put him in the positions which probably if he was white, he might not actually even have got there. Do you see what I mean?
We talk about that. We talk about everything, as you just mentioned there, but we talk about everything he's accomplished in a short space of time. But he's still not getting that recognition for that, though.
It's the recognition, man.
He's not getting
I can sense it. Like, even sometimes when people are being mentioned, I'm like, what? Lewis Hamilton is actually one of our great. He wins F1. He'll race, and I'm like, he's got this race. Wake up, he's won. Wake up, he's won. I mean, it's amazing, bro. Consistency at the highest level.
If I show somebody who's never watched F1 in their life, and I said, okay, Lewis Hamilton's achieved all this in his career, and he's not regarded as one of the best F1
One of our greatest
people
sportsmen.
don't appreciate
That's what it
this
is.
guy, will recognise him. They say, you're crazy.
He's one of our greatest sportsmen, and you know what it is? Another thing is that it irks him that he lives in Monaco. He used to live in Switzerland, so he don't pay tax. I remember reading that, and I'm like, oh, you cannot pay tax going to live there. Lovely.
It's right.
It irks them, and it's not British, and it's not. Man, you know what?
So I guess the conclusion is that we feel as if people just don't like Lewis. That's the reason why it doesn't get. I think some sports.
No. The conclusion is, Richard, they don't like Lewis because he's black. Right. Let's just cut the bullshit. We don't work for Sky Sports. We don't work for Sky Sports, so we might as well say it.
So I mean,
by the time they get this, I'll probably be out of a job.
So I mean, that's the only reason that people don't like Lewis, because of his skin colour. That's the only reason why.
It's a driving force. Right. That's what it is.
Okay.
It must hurt them alone that Lewis Hamilton is not a white man that's driving Britain to this crazy success. Yeah. You can only imagine when an England team full of like 8 or 9 black men win the World Cup. They're gonna have to replace Bobby Moore. You know, it's gonna hurt them.
But you remember, like, don't forget France done it.
I look at that, and then they got upset when we say Africa won the World Cup. You wouldn't colonise half the country, bro. Congo, not Algeria, sorry, Congo. What's the other one?
You got Congo, you got Senegal,
you got
Mali, you got Guinea, you got all of these.
Yeah, come on,
Cote
man.
d'Ivoire, all of these guys.
A bunch of them, bro.
Not even just them, but all of Algeria as well, because their best players, some of them are from Algeria natively. You know what I mean?
This is it. So listen, let's just be honest here. Yeah, it's Lewis Hamilton doesn't get the recognition because there is a colour bias in it. It's a silent one. And I'm just calling it like the people that can see it but don't have the power to say it. Well, we're saying
also,
it.
I mean, Lewis is he's a character. He will speak out his mind.
And they don't like that.
Do you think that holds him back as well? The fact that he speaks his mind and he's not.
Of course.
They don't like that.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? Like you said, with
Roy Keane speaks his mind.
Yeah, the microaggression.
The microaggression.
It's like, shut your mouth. We've brought you to the table.
Yeah.
Why are you talking?
Exactly. And
That's what it is.
And for us, it's like what he's doing. It has to be him to do it, because if I was the black man that was winning all these championships and saying the things, I'd have been a bit too ghetto with it.
I would have just said, I would have literally just said, F this, I'm done, and not just walk away.
No, the thing is, they don't care. Like, you know, we can talk about that on the views.
They don't care. If you
John Boyega cutting his job, it's him that's actually losing the money in the long run. They don't care. It's one black man.
But you know what's interesting with that? The original owner of Joe Malone came on and said that if she was still around, that would never have happened. But how do we actually know this?
Listen, we are always going to be suspicious when it comes to white people defending black people, because they've let us down so many times. We're not racist, but we have serious trust issues. So
it's one thing I realised as well. I know recently a lot of TV productions have been sort of increasing diversity recently. I think Alex Scott has been awarded the Question of Sport host position recently, and I got so much backlash.
But do you know why?
My thing is that the fact that everyone's sort of including diversity right now, that shows to me that they were clearly holding them back in the past.
It was clearly, and it's a fad now, right? It's a thing to do.
It's like, time to apply for a new job, man.
Yeah, like we got forget quotas now. We're just
going to gay people before. Now black people.
Yeah.
Finally.
And it's like, how can they come before us when Anyway.
Makes sense. My manager was trying to talk to me about promotion now.
I was like, anyway, it is what it is. Yeah,
It is what it is, and they don't like Lewis Hamilton because there's a colour bias, and that's the bottom line.
Do you think he'll get fed up and retire soon, or do you think?
Listen, it will take that man to die before they respect his efforts. They won't give him his flowers when he's alive, and we as black people need to uplift our champion.
And you know what we should do? We should give him his flowers.
100%.
We should champion our champion. You know what I mean?
I'm a massive fan of this guy.
Thanks very much for watching our videos. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, which is at Hub Athletes, our Instagram, which is at Hub Athlete, and our YouTube, which is at The Athletes Hub, no apostrophe, for more great content, more discussions, more debates, a lot more to talk about: football, boxing, tennis, athletics. You got it. We're here for you, man. Three guys talking sports.